Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Simple Easy Marketing Podcast. Today, I want to talk to you about a little TV show that maybe you're a fan, maybe you're not. I don't know if you're a fan, but did you know the first episode of the TV show Star Trek? It debuted in 1966. And that episode, the first episode was called The Man Trap. And I want to talk to you about traps today because The Man Trap was not the first recorded episode. It was the sixth recorded episode. Now, I don't know if you're a big, Star Trek person or, a big, of any of the franchise. But I've kind of listened to a couple weeks ago to some of the story and history on Gene Roddenberry and why he created Star Trek and how he was trying to create a world that was better and even if it was broadcast on TV, it was meant to be better. And he wanted to have a place where people could live long and prosper. Great concept. But the thing that intrigued me about it was, when I was reading about it, was the fact that the first episode, which was called The Man Trap, all right, and I was checking out some stuff onto it. The Man Trap actually was, although it was the first one to air, it was the sixth one to be filmed, and it was chosen as the first of the series to be broadcast, by the studio due to its horror plot. All right, now it's been a long time since I watched the episode, but I really, really was thinking about it, and the concept of how many times everybody I know, they're always, when it comes to a podcast, a new video show, your YouTube video, your blog post, you're trying to get that perfect one out there. Now, in 2020, I've done quite a few imperfect things to try them. Because, in some cases we were kind of, in a place where we had to experiment to find out what was going to work. And I think, when we come into this idea that we create content, all right, and we don't really sit and experiment to find out what's going to be the best, we just wait to get it perfect before we launch it, is, I think, our biggest crime. Now, when I started Rocker Life Coach, the blog, I blogged for almost a year and a half before I actually found the niche that the people reading the blog jumped on. And it was a year and a half. Would have been 2011 when I started posting consistently on the blog. And it was about the third month in 2012 that I finally found the niche that would fit that blog and how it would go. And I was writing a blog post every day, trying to figure it out. Most of us are trying to figure it out, and we're trying to figure it out and get the right one up first because we want to launch as this expert and be the greatest thing in the world and the greatest thing since sliced bread, when we sometimes realize that, all those listeners aren't going to be there for our podcast in the first day. Some of us are going to find us about episode 10. Some will find you about episode 50. Some of them, like TV shows that are out there, if you watch TV shows, some people don't find the good TV shows until season 2. In this case here, when we talk about, Star Trek, it was kind of a hit from the start. And it's always great to have the hit from the start, but remember, the hit from the start, it was number 6 episode that was actually broadcast to be number 1 before they figured out, number 6, this is the one that we need to broadcast first. And that would be what would make, well, that wouldn't be the only thing that would make, but the Star Trek franchise would be coming great. Whatever you're doing in your marketing right now, whether you're trying to create a podcast to help accent your business, you're trying to create a live stream video show to accent your business. Maybe you're trying to write a blog article or a newsletter on a weekly basis to keep up with your community, to keep them activated in what you're doing and how you help people. And maybe you're scared to launch. Did you know that if you put 20 episodes up there and they turn out to be blah and never get anything, and say only 5 people watch them, and then in episode 21, all of a sudden you get the big launch. Everybody jumps and they want to come in and start watching you at episode 21. Did you know that you can take episode 1 through 20 down and hide them? Or put them in archives that years later you relaunch. I want you to think about it. How many things of Prince's was found after he passed away of songs that he had recorded over the years? Because he recorded songs every day. And many of them he thought were not perfect enough to be released. And many of them would not be found until after he passed away. Some of the greatest things that you are creating out there, and you were trying, or some of the things you're trying to create out there, and you're scared to create it because you're scared it's not perfect enough, but you're not practicing enough at it either. I say, post the content, post the podcast, post the live stream show, go for it, and see what happens. You can always change it if things need to be changed. That's my episode for today. Episode 16, the content trap is what I called it today. Don't get caught up in that content trap. Create content and find out what your audience wants to hear from you. After you get a couple people in there, do a survey. Find out what they liked and don't like. There's all kinds of things that you can do by launching and figuring it out as you go. This is not the plane where you actually have to have the plane built before you can fly. No, this is a case where you can actually build a plane while you fly. Hey, it's Sarah Waterman. Thank you for joining in, Sarah, today and leaving a great comment today. If you like to find out more about some of our podcasts, again, this is episode 16. Episode 1 through 15 is up on Apple Podcasts. You can go to timgillette.com/Apple and subscribe to our Apple Podcasts. Our show is sponsored by Simple Easy Marketing. That's at Simple Easy Marketing, where we host monthly events. You can go to simpleeasyevents.com. Find out about our next monthly event and how you can basically get into our events for a one-time charge of $20, and you get to attend them all for life. Find out about how that works by going over to simpleeasyevents.com. And check us out our YouTube channel. Our YouTube channel is timgillette.com YouTube or youtube.com/timgillette. Either way, it gets you there. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel. Help us get to 500 subscribers. I'd really appreciate your help there. I'm Tim Gillette with the Simple Easy Marketing Podcast in episode 16. I thank you for listening. I'll see you next time.